Was your pregnancy planned? Have you had any cravings or aversions? What are the biggest challenges you have faced being a pregnant flight attendant? What is maternity leave like? Are you finding out the gender or keeping it a surprise? Did your duties change after you announced your pregnancy? If so, how? Okay guys, grab yourself a tea, hot chockey, maybe a glass of wine for me because we're going to do a pregnancy Q&A, and I obviously can't drink wine right now. But I'm so excited for this video. I want this video to be really casual and just a bit of a chatty video, life update, pregnancy Q&A, all that jazz. So thank you for clicking on this video. If you are new here, my name is Bree. I am 30 years old. I live in Melbourne, Australia. My husband's name is Braden. We've been married for 5 years. We have a cat named Mickey and I work as a flight attendant. So in this video, I'm going to be going through some general questions about pregnancy. And then I've also received a lot of flight attendant pregnancy questions that I'll be answering later on in this video. So definitely stick around if you're interested in those questions as well. But yeah, let's get into the questions, shall we? I'm having a hot chocolate and it just like hits the spot. So good. First question is, how far along are you and when are you due? Currently when filming this, I'm 24 weeks pregnant and I'm due in September 2024. Do you guys want to see a bump update? Let me give you a little bump update. So this is my 24-week bump, which is so cool because I'm finally kind of feeling pregnant, that I've got like a bit of a bump and it actually looks like I'm pregnant, because for a while there I just looked bloated and I don't know, I just felt like, am I pregnant or have I just had a really big meal kind of thing. Oh, I do want to mention as well, I have filmed a lot of videos throughout my journey in pregnancy, which I'll be probably uploading after this video. So if it feels a bit out of order, that's why, because I did want to document my pregnancy and take you on some flight attendant trips while I'm pregnant and all that kind of jazz. Was your pregnancy planned? And yes, this pregnancy was planned. We've been married for 5 years, so we were kind of ready for that. Well, I don't know if I would say ready, but we were kind of wanting to make the next step and, you know, start building a family. So in the middle of last year, we went on a big Europe trip, and our goal was that once we got home from that Europe trip, we will start like prenatals, we'll stop drinking, we'll eat healthy, exercise, all that jazz to prepare to conceive a child. Because it's recommended that you take prenatals or like certain vitamins for pregnancy 3 months before you start trying to have a baby, just so that you have all the right nutrients in you and stuff. So Braden was on prenatals and I was on prenatals. And then once the 3 months was up, we just kind of stopped preventing, if that makes sense. We weren't really tracking. We were just really lucky that we got pregnant really quickly. I know that that is a sensitive topic to a lot of people, and my heart goes out to those people who are struggling with infertility and things like that. How do you feel when you found out you were pregnant? I was kind of low-key shocked and in disbelief. There was a little snippet of our reaction in the pregnancy announcement video, but I'm thinking of perhaps sharing the whole clip with you guys potentially down the track a bit more. But it was like funny because we both were kind of in disbelief, and we low-key didn't really know how to read a pregnancy test as well. So we like did some more tests and stuff. Anyways, it's funny. I'll probably share that probably later down the track. What were your first symptoms, and have you experienced any morning sickness? If you've watched my last 2 vlogs, you would have seen that I have experienced morning sickness, and I'll go into that in a little bit. In terms of first symptoms, I felt like I had a boob job, basically. Like my breasts were so swollen and large, and usually that's a symptom of that my period was coming, and so I kind of was expecting my period to come, but it obviously didn't. Yeah, I think that's really the only symptom that I had. And in terms of morning sickness, there was only a few times where I actually felt sick in the morning, but there was a lot of times where I experienced nausea, especially in the 10 to, I'm going to say like 14 week mark. Like around those weeks, I experienced a lot of nausea. And it was funny, this one time I was flying and we had literally the worst turbulence. And I think I was like maybe 12 weeks at this point, and I'd never felt that nauseous in my whole entire life. It was like, yeah, it was really hard to get through that day. I've been really lucky where I probably have only vomited maybe 10 times throughout this whole pregnancy. Some people don't vomit at all, which is fantastic. Some people it hits really like badly, which my heart goes out to those people because that will be really difficult. Have you felt the baby kick? Yes, I felt the baby kick, and it's such a weird feeling. It's like, it kind of feels like there's a goldfish inside of me, and it's like swimming around and like banging on the glass, aka like my tummy. And Braden's been able to feel the kicks as well, which has been so good. Yeah, and he's really loved that. Are you finding out the gender or keeping it a surprise? We know the gender, and I'll probably be announcing it soon. Comment down below if you think we're having a boy or girl. I'd be really interested to know what you guys think. Have you had any cravings or aversions? I don't know if I've really had cravings, to be honest. The only thing I can think of is I lived in America for like a year and a bit, and I became obsessed with bagels, specifically plain bagel with like the blueberry cream cheese. Oh my gosh, so yummy. And so I had a craving the other day about that. And to get bagels in Australia, it's pretty rare, and also to find blueberry cream cheese is like unheard of. Like, if you know of any places in Melbourne that sell blueberry cream cheese, let me know. So I ended up buying normal cream cheese and like frozen blueberries and like whipping it up together because I was just craving bagels with blueberry cream cheese. So I don't know if that's craving or what. In terms of aversions, I have had some meat aversions. Early on, the smell of cooked meat would make me feel a bit squirmish, like I would never vomit or anything. And also in my first trimester, I couldn't eat like large portioned sized meals. I'd have to eat multiple little ones throughout the day because I would just feel so full and I just couldn't get it down. What has been the hardest part of pregnancy for you? Sleeping. I think sleeping's been really difficult. Just like feeling uncomfortable. Like I got this amazing sleeping pillow. I'll put the name of it on the screen. It's awesome. But even with a sleeping pillow or pillows, I still kind of wake up. And something else that has been difficult is I'm a very like active person, and just feeling some limitations has been quite hard. Just being able to like simply bend down and pick something up is kind of a challenge, and like to bend down to do my shoelaces, and I don't know, I think physically it's been quite difficult for me. What has been the best part of pregnancy for you? I think it's really like strengthened mine and Braden's relationship even more, and it's been so fun to go through this journey with someone who I'm creating a life with, and I'm not feeling like I can't wait to have the baby. I'm like really enjoying the process and like loving being pregnant and this journey, and like seeing the little bub squirm on the ultrasounds and just like imagining our lives together with this baby. I don't know, it's just been like a really fun journey for me. What kind of prenatal care are you receiving? In Australia, there's a few options. You can go through the public system. If you have private health insurance, you can go through the private system. I'm personally going through the public system because in Australia we have amazing public health that's free. And we have some of the best like midwifery clinics and hospitals and stuff here in Australia. So I'm really comfortable just going through the public system. And in terms of that, are you planning on a natural birth, epidural, or C-section? To be honest, I don't really believe in birth plans. I believe in like birth preferences. So I have preferences on what I want, but ultimately whatever path that I have to take to bring a healthy baby into this world, I'll take. What are you most looking forward to after the baby's born? I'm so excited to see Braden as a dad. Like, I think he was just born to be like a dad. I just know he's going to be amazing, and he already has been amazing through this whole pregnancy, and I know he'll be like really hands-on and really supportive and loving. And another thing I'm excited about is like seeing the personality of this little baby and like what their likes are and dislikes are. And I'm also really interested to see like what they will look like, because I can't really imagine like what my genetics plus my husband's genetics will create. What does this mean for your YouTube channel? So I definitely want to continue posting YouTube content because I absolutely love it. I definitely don't know what it's going to be like with a newborn, especially those first couple of months. I'm sure that there will be a bit more baby content, but I don't want my whole channel to be consumed with baby content. I still want to have an emphasis on travel and lifestyle and all that kind of jazz. I feel like my content will be pretty similar, minus I probably won't be flying for a bit, but I definitely want to fly with my baby. and with Brayden and travel and do all that fun stuff. How are you and your partner preparing for the baby's arrival? Have you taken any prenatal classes or read any books? I'll show you the books that I've been reading. So there's this book. It's a complete Australian guide to pregnancy and birth. This is like the Bible of birth. Like, it's got everything in here. It's really thorough. This book's actually by two girls that run a podcast called Australian Birth Stories Podcasts, and they interview a bunch of women who have had kids and their birth stories and all that jazz. It's been really good. There's a lot of like books out there that are great as well, but aren't necessarily specific to Australia. If you're in Australia, would recommend. The other one I'm reading at the moment is this one, Hypnobirthing, the Morgan Method, a natural approach to a safe, easier and more comfortable birthing. This is my sister's book. Actually, she loaned it for us, but we are actually going to do a class with my sister. She's a hypnobirthing instructor and she's going to teach us all about hypnobirthing. So I'm excited about that. If you're interested in classes, let me know and I can pass you on her contact details. We're doing classes online, even though she's my sister, but we live like an hour away, so it's just easier that way. If you live anywhere in Australia or the world, that's an option for you as well. We also bought this course called Built to Birth. It's made by a YouTuber. I'll link it down below. She is a doula and it's been really educational about the whole birthing process. The Built to Birth course also has like workout plans as well for like pre and postnatal, which is really cool, and they're just really easily digestible videos. Would recommend that. So yeah, that's what we've been doing, and it's actually been really good because I think I've just grown up with this fear of giving birth, and so I have a real negative mindset and connotation with birthing, and I feel like these resources have really helped me kind of change that mindset a bit and just be more confident in my body's ability to birth, and just learning more about birth and how it works has been really good. Will you be going on a baby moon? If you don't know what a baby moon is, basically a holiday you go on with your partner before you give birth, and we actually went on our baby moon last week, so that was great. We had the best time. So that vlog will probably be out in about a month's time, but yeah, we just had the best time and it was just nice to escape the winter here in Melbourne for a bit and enjoy some sunshine and relax and just spend quality time together. How do you feel about the changes in your body? Pretty positive. Like, my legs have gotten a bit bigger. Obviously my stomach is expanding, my hips are getting bigger. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I feel like my voice has like gotten lower as well. I don't know if that's something. So there's a lot of changes and I'm okay with them. If it means that I get to have a healthy baby, then that's the main thing. And I don't really expect my body to like bounce back, and I don't really believe in that either. But obviously I'm still exercising and trying to be active and all that jazz. It was funny because so the first 12 weeks of pregnancy, you really cannot notice if someone's pregnant, and I think I was upset that my stomach wasn't getting bigger and I didn't look pregnant and stuff like that. I think it was more upsetting that I wasn't getting bigger, which is kind of wild, because I feel like as women sometimes we have things ingrained in us that we have to be small and little and our stomach should be flat and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm really trying to stay positive about my body and the changes, and I know that it's going to change so much more as well. I'm only just over the halfway mark. Have you chosen a name for your baby? No, we have not. To be honest, choosing a name is literally the hardest thing in the world. I don't know how people do it. We have a few names that we like, that we both like, but we're not really set on any. What have you bought for baby, or have you started the nursery? We've bought 3 onesies, a bunch of nappies, bought the cutest little bathing suit. Oh my gosh, so cute. And that's it. Yeah, I haven't really bought anything. My sister, who's a hypnobirthing instructor, she actually gave me a big list of necessities that she can't live without whenever she has a new baby, because she's got 3. And I've been going through that list and finding things on Amazon and all that kind of stuff. I actually made an Amazon baby wish list. If you're having a kid, you can go and have a look at that wish list to give you an idea of some things that are needed for a baby. And you can actually purchase things for me if you want as well. All really good questions. We haven't started a nursery. We have a bad room that is going to be the nursery, so we have to clear that out and decorate it and buy all the furniture and all that stuff. I think now that I'm over the halfway mark, it's feeling a lot more real real, and I feel like it's coming up a bit quicker than I thought as well. Yeah, we probably should go and get some more things. Okay, now I'm going to answer some questions that relate to being a flight attendant and pregnant. So first one is, how did your airline respond when you informed them about your pregnancy? They were really happy and excited for me and supportive, and yeah, I don't know what else to say, but yeah, all my managers have been really supportive and my colleagues have been really happy and are supportive as well. So it's been really great. Did your duties change after you announced your pregnancy? If so, how? They didn't change too much. There's a few things that have happened. So for those of you who don't know, I also have another role within my airline where I work for the training department, and whenever I have those training days, which is about 6 days per roster period, I've been able to work from home a few of those days, which has been really helpful, especially like in my early trimester and like those weeks that I was feeling quite nauseous and all that jazz. That was really helpful. So that's been really good, and it's been like really nice because I've been getting enough sleep and I'm not driving an hour to the airport every day and all that stuff. So that's been really good. In terms of flying, my duties haven't changed too much. The only thing that I've kind of changed is that if I get rostered like a Bali flight, I'll try and swap those out, because I know people go to Bali and stuff for their baby moon, but I don't think that's a really good idea because one, you can get Bali belly, which isn't good. Another thing is there is a specific virus. I'll put the name of it on the screen, but if you attract that virus, you can actually get abnormalities in your baby. Also, the food isn't as safe, and if something was to happen while I was over there, I wouldn't be as confident in the medical treatment, with that being like a third world country, you know. So I've been specifically trying to just do Australian flights. I do have one international flight next week, which I'm so excited about, and it's a country that I feel comfortable going to. I'm so pumped for that one. So stay tuned. I'm going to be vlogging it. When you do reach 28 weeks in pregnancy, you do get put on ground duties or safe duties, which is where you're assigned duties that are not flying duties. So you're basically put in an admin office, or you're put in check-in for a bit, or to help out in the lounge, but you're not allowed to fly past 28 weeks. And that's even if you were to fly over 28 weeks in most airlines in Australia as a passenger, you will need a doctor's certificate stating that your pregnancy is healthy and you're allowed to do that, etc. Yeah, once I reach 28 weeks, which is in 4 weeks, which is wild, I'll be put on the ground and doing some other duties. What is maternity leave like? I'm still kind of wrapping my head around maternity leave, but from what I've read and understood and everything, there's a few aspects of it. First of all, you can go on maternity leave as early as 8 weeks if you want to, which I didn't really feel like I needed to. I've felt pretty healthy during this pregnancy, and I'm not a high risk pregnancy or anything like that. So I felt comfortable continuing flying, but you can stop at 8 weeks. Another thing is here in Australia, you get paid 12-week maternity leave. With my airline, I get 12 weeks paid maternity leave, but at my base rate, which is a lot higher than what the government incentive is. So I'm really lucky about that. And if I want to, I can also space those payments out for a 24-week period at half pay. So that means the money will last a bit longer. So that's a really great incentive. And then I can also add like annual leave and sick leave on top of that, which is awesome. So I could potentially be paid for the next 6-7 months potentially, which is really, really good. And then if I want to, I can come back to work if I want to, or after having baby, I can have up to 24 months off and still keep my job. Which is like so awesome. Personally, I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do. I'm definitely leaning towards potentially a year and a half, maybe 2 years off. I'm not quite sure. I don't know what it's like having a baby, but I assume it's quite hard and difficult, and you know, you're caring for a life. And I think I want to be able to spend as much time with that baby as I can. Of course, things might change. Maybe for my mental health, I might need to go back earlier. Maybe financially, I might need to go back earlier. I don't know. But I like the sound of like having a year and a half off after giving birth and like, you know, spending that with my baby. That might change. Who knows? Oh, and then on top of that maternity leave, a separate thing on top of that is something else that the government gives you, which is like parental leave pay, which is like another payment on top of your maternity leave. I don't really know how much that is, but I believe, yeah, it's another payment that you get. In terms of stopping work completely before I have baby, if you want to continue working past 34 weeks of pregnancy, then you need to have a letter from your doctor stating that you have a healthy pregnancy and that you're able to do that. Personally, I'm probably going to stop then, or even maybe a couple weeks before that, potentially, just depends. I think it'd be nice to have like 2 months off before I give birth and then give birth and then have like 2 years off. And to be honest, I would also love to come back flying. There is the option to come back flying part-time once you've had a kid. So I definitely want to do that. Okay, another question is, what are the biggest challenges you have faced being a pregnant flight attendant, and how did you manage morning sickness or other pregnancy symptoms while on duty? Probably the biggest challenges was fatigue and nausea when I was experiencing that nausea. Fatigue, I just literally would sleep on my layovers, would sleep when I get home. I'll just sleep as much as I can. In terms of like the nausea that I had, I found that if I ate every 2 hours, that really made me feel less nauseous if I was like eating regularly. I also had these ginger chews. Maybe I'll put a photo of it on the screen, but I had these ginger chews that I would like pop in my mouth if I would feel nauseous at all. Another question, how did you balance your flight schedule with prenatal appointments? To be honest, it's been quite difficult just because my roster's all over the place. So I would either try and bid for days off when I had an appointment, or I would just have to have a personal leave day on that day, which we get paid for in Australia. If I take a sick day, I'll get paid for. If I know my appointments in advance, I can like email them to my manager and I can be scheduled those specific days off. Were there any specific routes or flight durations you were restricted from taking? Not necessarily. I kind of talked about the Bali flights already. I felt quite comfortable flying domestically in Australia because the healthcare here in Australia is free. It's amazing. And if anything was to happen in any state, I'll be able to just go to any doctor, any hospital and be treated, and it will be free. I'm really lucky about that. So I felt very comfortable still flying. And in terms of like routes or durations, not really. Since I've become pregnant, I've been trying to manipulate my roster in a way where I'm not doing as much flying, or the flights that I am doing, they're not as long. For pregnancy, will you receive special treatment at the security check through? That's a really good question. All scanners in Australia are safe for pregnancy. They use a non-iodizing millimeter wave technology. And so that basically means they don't emit any like radiation like X-rays do, and you're basically exposed to less energy than other common everyday devices such as mobile phones. So basically I wasn't worried about security check-in, and if you're pregnant and you're flying within Australia, I don't think you should be worried either because the body scanners are pretty good. There's no like known health risks or anything associated with the body scanners that we have. All right, last question. How will your uniform accommodate your growing belly? We have maternity uniform, which I have ordered, but I am yet to pick up. I'll be able to show you them potentially in a future vlog or something. But yeah, basically it's a top that has like that flares out a bit, and then you have maternity pants or a maternity skirt kind of thing. So yeah, I'm excited to try them on. I've just had like a month off working because of annual leave, and I haven't tried my uniform back on and I don't think it's going to fit. So I ordered some maternity clothes and I've got to pick them up for my next shift. If you have any other questions about pregnancy in general, or pregnancy being flight attendant or anything like that, leave them in the comments. If you want me and Brayden to do a little Q&A, let me know as well, because I think it would be interesting to hear his perspective on this whole pregnancy as well. So leave some comments if you want to hear that. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.